Shalom. This is the book of First Peter, chapter 5, it's down verse 8, and it says, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour." Before I move any further, let's give all praise going on unto Yahweh by Shem Yahushai by Shem Rakakadash. Double honor to the teachers, elders, and the apostles of Great Millstone, also to you brothers out there that put on this truth faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep, and two brothers that are tuning in. Shalom. And let's take a review back at this precept here, which is First Peter 5 and verse 8, and it says, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil." And who's the devil? The devil is the so-called white man, okay? These Amalekites, these so-called Jewish people, okay? The everyday people that we see walking around, yeah, those are little devils that you see here, and they have, okay, low opinion of you. They have bad intention of you when the time comes to pass for them to really show their true feelings is for the Hebrew Israelites, are so-called Black Americans and Latinos. And it says, "As a roaring lion, walking about seeking whom he may devour." And how is the devour is going to be commonplace here? As you see right now, you know, they putting out, commercializing it in a very slick way, okay? The MOTB, which is the mark of the beast, also right now they are convincing many people that there's this you know, scary, you know, invisible, you know, disease that's around that's going to get everybody unless they walk into CVS or Walgreens or Walmart or Costco, any of these places here, and allow somebody in a white jacket to you know, prick you, okay? And that's supposed to be the cure. Okay, now when you go back to 9/11, okay, what happened? Okay, they faked those two towers being blown up with airlines, okay, and they used demolition to crash those buildings down. And there's a lot of proof of there with the videos that show that. And what do you see that came around with that, with all the new rules and new regulations that came around? You had the Patriot Act, okay, that was instated. Okay, you suddenly had two wars, okay, where, you know, the Great Babylon America, okay, the main headquarters of the devil, the so-called white man, okay, went and killed millions of people over there in Afghanistan and Iraq, claiming that there was weapons of mass destruction. And you know, you go just only 2 years back in 2020 when you had the scandemic, okay, what do? They got people now walking around with a muffin on their nose, okay, covering their face. Okay, they got people standing 6 feet apart, which is what 6, we know 6 is the devil's number, okay? And they have people, you know, basically, again, marching into these places and getting the devil in the white jacket, okay, to prick your skin, telling you that this is going to prevent, you know, this this disease, okay, that they themselves have invented, okay, which there is no such thing, but we already know what that's all about, okay? So Jake is to be vigilant and aware, okay? Right now they're coming over with this MOTB and all this new technology right now, okay, that they're going to suddenly thrust out there, and this is going to be disguised as what? Being good for you, okay? And us being the type of people that tend to be very, you know, easily influenced by the newest and the latest and the greatest. Why? Because we're poor, okay? And what do poor people want? Poor people want to be like the rich people, okay? You always want to be in the mix of things. Let's go into the book of Psalms 49 and 11, because this is the reason why so many are being, you know, beguiled by this doggone devil, the so-called white man. This is the book of Psalms 49 and 11. It says, "Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names." And then we already know, okay, America and Europe and all these lands out here, including us having these corporate names, okay, it's because why? The devil, the so-called white man, these Amalekites, they believe that they're going to continue on forever, okay? Because they're, roughly paraphrasing, their sin that they commit across the earth, you know, their atrocities, their murder, their rape, their pillaging, you know, they're not being given that punishment. They're not punished like other men are, so to speak, okay? They're not punished like we are. We are being punished all the time. In fact, right now, we're in spiritual Sodom and Egypt, okay? We're behind enemy lines right now, okay? And you can see and feel, okay, the repercussion of being, you know, in a lower state here in Great Babylon, America. But you can see these people walk around like doggone zones, like drones here in Great Babylon, America. They're willing to accept the MOTB. They're willing to accept whatever the so-called white man, okay, he prowls around looking to do what? Okay, devour you, devour your mind, okay? Not only that, he's also going to devour your body, your physical body, okay? Because if you don't comply to what he's looking to do, he is going to destroy you. That's his intention, okay? So they have this plan of, you know, this great futuristic cities, you know, where they're going to have flying cars and, you know, these floating, you know, gravitron type railroad system, and all these great things that they imagine as Internet of Things, where they can connect not only the buildings, the vehicles, and all of your associated appliances in your house and everything, but they also want to connect you to this big grid, okay, because they want to have complete and utter control, and we have seen this. And Jake, you have to be vigilant about this, because don't fall for it, okay? Don't fall for it. It's coming very slick. See, well, they look at you and they show you it as if it's going to be something that's going to be good, but this is the book of Job, chapter 14, and 7 verse 1. It says, who can bring a clean thing out of unclean? Not one. Okay, Esau is unclean. Esau is the devil. He's a liar. Okay, he's a sorcerer. He's a kidnapper, a rapist. Okay, he's a man of complete deception, and this is what he have been allowed to do on this earth. Okay, this is Esau's gift, and when those who don't comply with Esau, even if they do, okay, they usually find themselves at the end of the sword, because Esau's blessing is what? The sword. And it says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee, thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Turn from him that he may rest till he has accomplished as a hireling in his day. So Esau is the base of man, the base of 18 nations that's been created by Yahweh Shemashai. Now, when you look at it, who's given Esau, the so-called white man, there's a power here on earth with the sword, his ability to create pestilence, his ability to, put all these imaginations out there about flying cars, a future city, naming continents after himself, giving everybody in this earth a corporate identity, okay, instead of giving them the biblical tribe name that they are, okay, is who? What the nations right now would call a so-called black man. So isn't that kind of like, when you look at that, okay, the very people that he's oppressing, okay, the true Hebrew Israelite of the Bible, our so-called blacks, Americans, Latinos, okay, our power, our Malak, has given this man, okay, the so-called white man, our enemy, who's the devil, okay, the power to be able to do these things, and also the power, okay, so much so that he actually believed that he's going to go on forever, and it's actually not punishing him until the time is appropriate for Esau to be taken down, which we're going to go into next, okay? So this man is just really doing the work of the Lord Yahweh Shemashai on the left side, in which, as the lowest state, okay, or as the lowest of the tribes, the 18 tribes that were created, the base of man, okay, that comes out of the caves, okay, and now is exalted in the present form he's in right now, okay, as a so-called white man, the Amalekites, okay, he has an end, okay. So the story has already been written. So that's why we tell you, Jakes, don't fall into the trap. There's no need for you, okay. There's better things coming for you. And if that doesn't convince you, let's go into the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, down verse 6, because here's what really is going to take place. All this stuff of gloat and glamour and exaltation that the so-called white man put out there is going to come to naught, because he's never going to achieve those, okay. He has a particular level of advancement, okay, and wickedness that he's going to execute on this earth before he's thoroughly judged. This is the book of Isaiah 47, down verse 6, and it says, I was wroth with my people. Who was wroth? Yahweh Shemashai. He was wroth with who? The children of Israel, Yasharallah, so-called blacks, native Americans, and Latinos, said, I have polluted mine inheritance and given them in thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. And okay, Esau does not show mercy to any of us. Okay, we've seen the pictures of slavery. We know the documents. You have this movie out right now with Will Smith. It looks very interesting, okay, because it actually tells a backstory of that famous picture we saw with all of those whiplashes across that Jake's back. Okay, and the movie is called Emancipation. So I would like to see that movie, because it really goes into details about exactly what took place in the story behind that picture. And it says, and thou says, I shall be a lady forever, which this is a queendom, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither thou remember the later end of it. Therefore, hear now this, thou art given to pleasures, thou dwellest carelessly, thou sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else besides me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. And that's how this place exalts itself, okay. Lady Liberty, you can do whatever you want. You get the transgender out there, a gender out there. You have kids now, chopping off their private parts and becoming, little boys becoming girls, little girls trying to become boys. You get men becoming women, okay, women being men. I mean, and everything is just completely out of order. Even the animals are out of order here. I mean, they have no fear of you. It's just out of order, and that's what this place is right now. It's completely out of order, and that is the snare and the trap. Because why? why would you want to be in order if you can continuously fix it? This is the reason why you see they have terms called, okay, the economic downturn, then it's going to be up. Okay, stock market crash, then it's going to be up. Okay, and since it's happened over and over and over and over, because why? They control the wicked narrative here in Great Babylon, America, which controls the world, okay, through these Amalekites, okay, these so-called Jewish conglomerates, okay, they can tell that their own little story, but we know what the true story is, and it says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in thy perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantment. See, take a look at this. This is all the sorceries and enchantment. If you were to look into this and all the movies and all of the literatures that Esau put out there, I mean, you would really, you go to sleep real quick, okay? And that's the reason why so many people are going to be enticed to walk up and take that MOTB in the beginning, okay, before it's actually forced on, okay? Because the people, of course, you get a counterpart here. We are going on the highway by telling you not to deal with it, okay? Not to do it. There's a consequences, okay? This man is not the all end of everything here in the universe. There is a higher power above him that's given him the ability to do what he's doing, okay? So there is consequences from the higher power who's above Esau, the Edomite, the so-called white man, these Amalekites, the so-called Jewish conglomerate, okay? So not to take it because he has what? He has beguiled the entire earth, okay, made it drunk, okay, with his sorceries and enchantments, all these promises of a great future. And it says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me, thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it has perverted thee, and thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me, okay, because he's not being judged. Okay, you can't convince the average Edomite that there is a true living being called Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, a so-called black man that is giving the power to the so-called white man to do what he's doing right now. I mean, they'll look at you like that's absolutely absurd. Okay, but this is in the heart of not only the everyday Edomite, but this is also in the hearts of those who are actually in power, those who are sitting in the cave somewhere with a little child on their lap, fingering them, okay, and doing abominable things down out of the sight of men. Okay, and it says, therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, and thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. So again, these people are so wicked, but they've never had the wickedness put on them. And see, guess who creates good and evil? The Lord, Yahweh Shai. So guess what? Esau is going to experience a type of wickedness that he has never been able to experience before, or that he cannot even put on other nations right now. So the wickedness that Esau has committed on this earth is gonna be pale in comparison to the wickedness that the Lord is going to rise up very suddenly, okay, to destroy this man. So you're gonna have wickedness against wickedness, devil against devil, evil against evil, crackers against crackers, white man against white man, Amalekites against Amalekites, and it's just going to be a wickedness that's going to be done on a scale that only Yahweh Shai can bring out into reality. Okay, so we're telling you, Jakes, okay, hey, don't fall for the trap. Don't go for the cheese. Don't take the MOTB. It's not going to do you any good. Okay, our Malak, okay, has authority over this wickedness like that. So there is no need for you to be beguiled by this man. Okay, let him commit his fantasies. Okay, yes, you have to still go to work. You have to make a living. You have to put a roof over your head until Jacob's trouble come true. And after that, when the 2/3 is destroyed, guess what? The elect is on those chariots. Okay, looking at the judgment that's going to come to the rest of these nations who sat back and watched Esau, the Edomite, the so-called white man, these Amalekites, okay, persecute, rape, kidnap, and rob and destroy the nation of Israel. But see, we have a future and have hope, okay? So walk away from the trap. Tell Esau, go fuck himself. Lord willing, you edify. I'd like to close by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashim Yahshai, Bashim Rakakadash, double honor to the teachers, elders, and the apostles of Great Millstone. Also to you, brothers out there that put in this truth faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep. And to you, brothers and sisters tuning in, Shalom, DTN, Abal Babal. Stay in the truth.